witnessed the problem of homelessness firsthand, volunteering with Crisis at Christmas, handing out hundreds of turkey dinners to homeless people. I saw homelessness for what it is. It's not a problem confined to addicts or as a result of mental health issues. It's something that could happen to us all. All of us are just 3 steps away from homelessness. 1, you lose your job. 2, you lose your partner. And 3, you lose your house. It could happen to anyone. And after years of what has been called unprecedented decline, homelessness is now back on the rise. Rough sleeping has doubled. Families living in emergency bed and breakfast and hostel rooms in Britain is up by 18% in only 1 year. Homeless households increased by 44%, and 120,000 children are homeless this Christmas. We see it every day on our way in and out of work. People sleeping in the entrances to Parliament on cardboard boxes and in sleeping bags. And it's not just confined to city centres. My constituency in Batley and Spen is not somewhere one would usually associate with homelessness. Not one single urban centre. We're a smattering of Yorkshire towns and villages. And as I've said before, Madam Deputy Speaker, in this House, when I was 6, my family fell behind on the mortgage repayments and we had to hand the keys back to our home to the Building Society. The council stepped in and found us a new home. But with 14,000 people on the Kirklees Council housing waiting list, if what happened to us then happened now, I'm not sure what would have become of me and my family. Perhaps we too would have had to rely on the kindness of strangers in an emergency bed and breakfast or even on the streets. And today we know the situation is getting worse, not better. The manager of the Batley Drop-In Centre at the Central Methodist Church told me just yesterday his centre has seen a 15% year-on-year increase in the people coming through his door. And what stood out for me in the conversation that we had is that not all of those who use the centre are what we normally deem homeless. They're not sleeping on the streets, most of them. They're actually sofa surfing until the goodwill runs out and they have to move on to other friends. And his explanation for the increase is threefold. Because at the church for 2 days in the week, they don't have to pay for heating. They get a hot meal and a food parcel to take away. And let's not forget, they also get companionship. Something that must be thin on the ground when you're forced by circumstance to keep moving on. And as the honourable members spoke just earlier, 1/3 of the households who become homeless did so when their private rented tenancy ended. This means we need to adapt to the needs of the growing number of families who rent. Longer-term secure tenancies with affordable rent increases are essential because homelessness isn't always because of a loss of a home, it's often due to an inability to find a new one. With Crisis telling us deposits average nearly £1,200 with agency fees on top, it's easy to see how a family ends up in financial difficulties. And I applaud the honourable member's call for a rent deposit guarantee system for homeless people and for those faced with homelessness. Because although the government's support for the honourable member for Harrow East homelessness reduction bill is welcome, as long as it's fully funded, it doesn't address lack of support for private renters or the chronic lack of investment in affordable homes. And I welcome my right honourable friend for Wentworth and Dearn's pledge to eradicate rough sleeping in the first term of a Labour government. I know he sent his proposals to the Prime Minister, and I hope the members opposite can give assurances that they'll be seriously considered. Every single expert, organisation and member of this House knows that the only long-term solution to homelessness is to build genuinely affordable homes for families to live in, because a home they can afford is not just bricks and mortar, it's stability and security. Let's not find ourselves back in this place, this time next year, debating these same issues. Those 120,000 children deserve better, and we cannot let them down.